Konbanwa, Kevin Tomoshimasu. Today I'll be talking about Japanese phones and Japanese phone plans. And it's not really what you expect. Or at least for me, I was really shocked coming to Japan. Shocked and of course not in a very good way. So first thing, it's the whole idea of Japan having the best technology. That's true about 10, 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago or more. But now I wouldn't say they're more advanced or they're the same or worse, but it's no different compared to things in Canada. So phones here, they're not more special, they're not less special, they're about as equal as getting phones in Canada or anywhere else in the world. Maybe they have some special models, but more or less you can still get that same kind of phone or the same kind of specs in your home country, wherever that may be. So the phone that I have, it's the Xperia Z2, and like this phone you can get anywhere in the world, not just in Japan. And there's nothing more special about this phone than getting it in Canada. The only thing that's different is that it's branded with Docomo at the top, which if you're not really a big fan of branding like myself, then it kind of really turns off the whole aspect of getting phones in Japan, because every phone you get, doesn't matter which carrier, it will have some kind of branding, mostly in the front, which ruins the design. Unless you have an iPhone, then there's no branding. There's also another feature. You can actually pay by tapping your phone with NFC in some select stores or shops. So this one has like a little symbol at the back. It's kind of hard to see, but it pretty much means that yeah, it works as if it's like your credit card. Charges your phone company, so you just pay your phone bill as if it's like your credit card. I never tried it, probably won't, but it's a pretty neat feature that Japan has that other places in the world doesn't. It's also a lot of bloatware inside phones that you get, and to be honest, I don't want to delete any of them because I don't understand Japanese, and most of the kanji are just too confusing for me. So, yeah, try not to risk deleting important things that you may need in the future. So, even though it's bloatware, best to just keep it on. Better safe than sorry. So, enough about phones in Japan. Let's talk about phone plans in Japan. And again, this varies from different carriers. There are three major carriers in Japan. One is Docomo, which is the one I'm under. The second is Softbank, and a third is AU. And I heard from a friend that AU really sucks, so I just ignored that out of my entire choice. So Softbank and Docomo. Softbank usually offers the best iPhone plans and have iPhones there, obviously. Docomo, they have the latest Android phones. They also have iPhone plans as well, but usually if you're going for Docomo, you're going for big name Android phones like Samsung or Sony or um, I don't know, some other ones like Aquos. Yeah, Aquos. And also for AU, although I never went to AU before, they offer more Japanese branded phones or phones that you can only get in Japan. So the Aquos, Sharps, and other things that I don't even want to consider because it just looks so awkward. One of them even had a camera, instead of camera conventionally placed on the top, that one's placed on the bottom. So the bezel part is kind of shifted up, so you have more space on the bottom, which is really weird because I don't really find that very convenient. Anyway, talk about phone plans. These are three big carriers. Depending on which carrier you go to, there are different prices and different charges. And with Docomo, they actually offer a really good iPhone plan. It's better than Android because you pay the same thing compared to an Android phone, but they offer more features because they are competing against SoftBank, who does offer the best iPhone plans. At least I think so. I'm not too sure. I've never been to Softbank, but that's what I've been hearing and been seeing. So about my phone plan, and maybe this will give you a gauge on what you can get in Japan. So first off, they need to calculate the price of the phone. Unlike in Canada, the price of the phone does not really determine the plan that you get. But here, they calculate the phone price first. They break it down within 24 months, which is a 2-year contract, and they pay it off within those 24 months. And you offer a discount, or they give you a discount, so you don't pay the full 100% price of the phone. So for my phone, it is actually 90,720 yen. Yes, that is equivalent to over 900 US dollars or 900 Canadian dollars, which is absurd because this phone I can get in Canada for about 500 bucks unlocked. So a little disappointed, but that's how it is. And broken down into 24 months, it's 3,555 per month, but there's a discount of 1,620, so I'll pay 1,935 a month just for the phone. That's not even including the plan, that's just having the phone. So that's something you have to consider when getting a phone in Japan. You have to consider the phone itself. If you're going for the latest phone, like the Xperia Z2, then you do have to take into account that this is an expensive phone and you will have to pay this off. In Canada, that's not true. You don't pay for the phone, you just pay for the price. They just lock you down to the phone itself for 2 years. So you have to stay with them for 2 years. The phone's kind of like the incentive of going with the company, but it's not the case here. They're not forcing you to get this phone, so it's actually preferred to get cheaper phones, which is why in Japan you don't really see people with a lot of expensive phones or the latest phones or even latest Android phones. In fact, I haven't seen anyone with the Xperia Z2, maybe just one person, but I've seen people with the Z1 or even the Z or even the older Samsung phones like the S3. Not a lot of people with the S5s or anything like that. So, yeah, because of that, it's really expensive. So, back on track. That alone, I'm paying about 20 bucks a month just for the phone. Next, we have a talk plan, which is 2,700 a month. And this is something that you cannot negotiate and they cannot make any cheaper. If you want to talk, you have to go all in or none at all. And none at all is in you can't even get a plan, period. So I asked them if I could get a cheaper one where I just pay per minute or pay per use, and they said no. You either pay 2,700 for unlimited Japan-wide talking, or you pay 1,700 for no talking whatsoever. And they can't even call you. Then I figure like might as well just pay the extra 1,000 for the ability to talk if you really have to. So that's something that you have no say in. So you have to pay the extra 2,700. Now you're racking almost 5,000 yen just for a phone, no texting. Yes, no texting. I'll get into that. No texting, unlimited calling, and an expensive phone. So next they have a service charge, which is 800 yen. This is just for signing up to them. You can't negotiate for that. That's something that they will just place on your bill. So no negotiation on that. Next is the data plan, which is 3,500 yen a month. And this is something that you could negotiate, but of course, especially if you are working in a fast-paced environment like me, I'm like not even home most of the time. I do need a data plan because they don't have free Wi-Fi in Japan like they do in Canada. And the data plan, it's actually 2 gigabytes, which is not that bad because the speeds are super fast. It's about 150 megabits per second download, and I'm not sure about upload, but super fast, which is good. And it can eat up your data really quickly and you don't even know. So it's 2 gigs, it's pretty good. Anything more than that, if you use over, the good thing is that they don't cap you or they don't charge you for usage charges over the 2 gigs, but they actually lower the speeds to 128 kilobits per second, which is double the speed of modem. And yeah, so you don't want to go over 2 gigs. Not the end of the world, they won't charge you more, but just something to keep in mind. And after all those prices take into consideration, you're paying about 8,955 per month. So that's close to 90 bucks a month just for the phone. And 2 gigs of data, no texting, unlimited calling though. So which is why a lot of people go to line chat because you can text. So for texting, how does it work? Well, you actually don't text. You have a charge of 3 yen per text, either receiving or sending. So if you want to send some verification codes to your phone, gotta watch out because every verification code, that's 3 yen. Which sucks because texting is actually not that common or not that popular in Japan. They usually mail people or use line chat. So no one says text. If you say text, you're either some rich person or you just don't really care about other people. So use line chat. That's what I use. That's what everyone uses in Japan. And also with my phone, there's actually a 7,000 yen deposit. 5,000 of that is necessary because I don't know. It's just because it's these Xperia Z2. Have no choice in that. And the other 2,000 is that they force you to buy the wall adapter, and that is something you can negotiate because they actually threaten me, say if you use a non-docomo charger and if something happens to their phone, we can cover it. I'm a huge techie. I know any cable is fine as long as the wattage and the voltage is correct, but they said, she said in a very threatening tone, you have to use Docomo charger. So whatever, I just paid the extra 2,000 for it, and yeah, I got it, whatever. And actually, for the Xperia Z2, if you are looking for an Android phone, you have to be careful because not everything is offered compared to phones in Canada. So for example, if you were to get the Xperia Z2, I thought it would come with a lovely headset, which is something that I've always wanted because the headset in this phone or with this phone is super good. I always heard good things, but they did not include it. All they included was a docking with like a little dock and a TV cable, and that's it. So there's actually nothing included, which is really disappointing because you need to buy the cable separately, and that's just another way for Docomo to get money off of you. So that is it for phone plans. It's very expensive, and you're not really getting a phone or anything that's better than anywhere else in the world. In Canada, in comparison, you can get a similar plan to what I have for about $40 a month, less than half. And yes, even with the Xperia Z2. With an iPhone, I almost forgot to mention, you're paying the same amount, but the iPhone charges actually less, and you get 1 extra gig of data. So you're paying about 7,000 a month. It's still pricey, but compared to 9,000, I'll take that. So that is it about phone plans. If you have any questions or any comments, I know this was a very long video because there was a lot to cover. But if there's anything you want to ask or if you're curious about, leave it in the comment section below and I'll get back to you on that. And I'll even do a phone review on this, maybe, because there's a lot of things that I don't really like about the Xperia Z2. It is the best Android phone out there, but it's really making me regret the decision. Anyway, that's it for me. And that, yeah, and I'll see you guys later. So have a good night.